Alright, what is up you guys? I am here with a new video concept where I basically go through a road to WrestleMania, in this case WrestleMania 35, and show it through, the DVD collection portion of it. So we have 4 pay-per-views this time, and if you like this idea, I can definitely go back and do this with every other WrestleMania DVD that was released. So all the way back to WrestleMania 16 is what I'd be able to do it with. 15 was the first wrestling DVD, so it's hard to do that. So, yeah, let me know what you think of this. If you like this, definitely let me know. So here we have 4 pay-per-views in total, starting out with the Royal Rumble, and we're really seeing still this trend of having 2 pay-per-views in between the Rumble. I personally prefer 1 pay-per-view between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. I just think it works better from a narrative standpoint. But let's get into this. First, we have the Royal Rumble 2019. And, you have Becky and Brock on the front there. And then you have your kind of clusterfuck Rumble match, which I actually kind of do like that artwork. I do like this cover. And then on the back here we have different screenshots. So, at this pay-per-view we saw Asuka and Becky Lynch. We saw Ronda Rousey and Sasha Banks, Finn Balor and Brock Lesnar, and then Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. Those were kind of your 4 main matches. You had the tag team titles with The Miz and Shane McMahon versus the Usos. And then you had your 2 Rumble matches, which was won by Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. And this one, we had a Rey Mysterio card. And then we have your 2 discs right here. Blue and red, I guess for Raw and SmackDown. So, it's a decent pay-per-view. I really think we've had better Rumbles, but, this was a decent start to the road to WrestleMania. And then moving along, we had Elimination Chamber 2019. And, it's more important later on, but obviously we have Kofi being thrown into the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match. And then we had your women's tag belts, won by Bayley and Sasha Banks. You had Finn Balor winning the Intercontinental title against Bobby Lashley, which we'll also see a rematch of that later. Shane McMahon and The Miz versus the Usos again. And then we had Ronda Rousey and Ruby Riott for the Raw Women's title. So our Elimination Chamber match, you can see on the front here, we had AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, Kofi Kingston, and Daniel Bryan. And obviously Daniel Bryan had a great showing with Kofi Kingston. And it was just an amazing, it was probably like 10 minutes of just one-on-one action there. And that's what really kick-started this push with Kofi Kingston. And then we have your disc artwork and an Alexa Bliss trading card. So I enjoyed Elimination Chamber. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. And this next pay-per-view I actually enjoyed as well. Fastlane 2019. You have the Shield on the front there. And this was your final stop on the road to WrestleMania. You can see on the spine here, we have all 3 members. And this was really advertised as your final Shield match, even though it ended up not being. But at the time, that's what, they were really going for. But here we had WWE Champion Daniel Bryan against Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali. You continued on the Kofi Kingston storyline where he was going to be added into the WWE title match, which was actually supposed to be originally Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens. And then they added Ali instead. And just kind of furthering the Kofi storyline, and he ended up in a handicap match with the Bar. And then we also had Charlotte versus Becky Lynch, really adding the triple threat aspect to WrestleMania for the women's titles. And we had The Shield versus Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley, which was a decent match, decent enough. And then AJ Styles and Randy Orton were setting up their feud and continuing to really move along to their match at WrestleMania. And then we have an AJ Styles trading card. And then we have your disc artwork, which is black and yellow. And then show you the spine one more time. And finally, we have WrestleMania 35. So, I think, we had a decent build-up to WrestleMania. It was not the worst, but it definitely could have been improved a lot. But we have your cover artwork here at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And I do like this cover a lot. I think it's better than having 50 wrestlers on the cover just to put them on there. I think Kofi and Daniel Bryan could have been on the cover, but they are on the spine. And then you have your first women's WrestleMania main event, the triple threat match. So, yeah, like I said, we had a lot of hinting up to, a lot of the matches on here at Fastlane. Fastlane was really where it kicked into high gear. No pun intended. I guess that's the point. But we have your backing here. And we also did get a Blu-ray, as you can see right here. I'll just put that there. So I will go over the full match listing so you can see kind of where all this built up to. If I can get the insert out. Alright, so starting out, we had Royal Rumble winner Seth Rollins facing Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. AJ Styles and Randy Orton. The Fatal 4-Way match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. And then Falls Count Anywhere, The Miz and Shane McMahon. They actually kind of blew up. The Mega Powers exploded at Fastlane. Guess you could put it that way. Fatal 4-Way for the I don't know what I'm saying. The women's tag team titles. Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Natalya and Beth Phoenix versus the Iconics and Nia Jax and Tamina. And then we had Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston putting a close to that rivalry and that storyline, and really kick-starting Kofi Kingston's main event run, which a lot of people thought was impossible. And then we have Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio for the U.S. title. And then Batista versus Triple H, no-holds-barred match. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin, Kurt Angle's farewell match. Bobby Lashley versus the Demon Finn Balor for the Intercontinental title. Because Finn Balor had actually lost the Intercontinental title, and now he gained it back. So, and then we have the winner-take-all triple threat match for the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship. Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch. So yeah, that about does it for WrestleMania. So, let's talk about the road to WrestleMania a little more in depth here for a few minutes. So in closing, like I said, I feel like the build-up was a little bit rocky. I still think it's better to put on one pay-per-view between the Rumble and WrestleMania and really focus on TV build-up. Have strong TV, like Raw and SmackDown, I think it's important to have a serialized storyline going into WrestleMania from the Rumble or even before that. So, like I said before, if you like this idea, be sure to let me know what you think of this. And, like I said, I can do more. So, yeah. Here we had it. The road to WrestleMania 35. And, if I had to pick the best pay-per-view out of this, I would say Fastlane. I think it was the strongest of the pay-per-views. And, I really think The Royal Rumble was probably the weakest, unfortunately. So let me know what you think down below of these 4 pay-per-views, how they work together, and how they build to WrestleMania 35. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.